Now, it's no longer news that applying for the health and care visa as an international student in the UK is definitely no longer an option. And the reason for this is majorly because going forward, as you know, published by the Home Office from the 11th of March 2024, those applying for the health and care visa under the shortage occupation code 6145 are no longer allowed to bring in their family. So if you're an international student, applying for the health and care visa is definitely a no-go area anymore, and for obvious reasons. You will be able to your partner and your kids who were your dependents on the student visa can move to the health and care visa with you. And if you're still single, it means that in the next 5 years you definitely wouldn't have any plans to get married. If you get married, your partner will be able to switch to that visa with you. He or she would need to get their own visa, and you need to make sure that. So that's really the only option at the moment now. So it's really a bit dicey and a bit challenging at the same time. However, the sincere truth is, it's not going to be a good idea for you to apply for the health and care visa. And the question now is, what then do you do? What do dependents need to do to help to make sure that they remain in the UK while their main applicant also, move to another visa category? So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. If it sounds like something you like to know because of the concerns being raised everywhere on what then happens to dependents, I'm going to share with you all of those information in this video. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do also hit the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. To be honest, after this chat with a couple of friends some days ago, and it really dawned on me that the number of people applying for the health and care visa is definitely going to reduce dramatically because there's really no most of the people really applying for the health and care visa, aside from the fact that probably they love, they take care of vulnerable people and all of those stuff. Majority of them are actually applying because of their family, and obviously for the benefit that comes with it, not being able to, required to pay IHS fee and all of those, juicy benefit that comes with the health and care visa. So, but people are really not going to appear. Majority, even according to statistics released by the Home Office, majority of people applying for this health and care visa are either people who are international applicants and those who are on the student visa in the UK. Those are really the majority of people applying for this visa. So with this family restriction, the student visa application is going to reduce, and also the health and care visa is really going to reduce. And the question is, what those people who are going to take up the shortage or the the demand for healthcare workers in the UK? Anyway, yeah, I guess that's the government's job to figure out. Anyways, so the most important thing now is that people who are on the dependent visa in the UK, especially for student visa, what then is the way to stay back? Now, people have given different possible scenarios of them being able to do this, and I think this particular scenario might work for people who don't have kids yet. And this scenario is, if myself as a primary applicant, I'm a student, and upon completion of my program, I got the health and care visa. I can then apply for the health and care visa. Of course, my partner will be able to apply. Then she also gets the health and care visa equally, and she also remain on the health and care visa. Now, this might work for those who don't have kids, because the moment you're both on the health and care visa and you start having kids born in the UK, you don't necessarily need to apply for visa for them if they're not traveling outside the UK. So they can remain in the UK until they're 7 years in the UK, and they can then apply for their naturalization. However, if you've got kids with you in the UK who were not born in the United Kingdom, that particular scenario is not going to work, because by the time you as a main applicant apply for the health and care visa and your partner also apply for the health and care visa, the children are also on a visa in the UK. They are not born in the UK, so they also need to be on a visa. They can't be without a visa. So it means that you're going to make the children overstay in the UK, which is not really a good idea. So if you have kids already who are not born in the UK, that scenario, it's definitely not going to work. Please do not consider doing such a thing. Now the question now is, what then happens to people who are on the dependent visa who can move to the health and care visa with their partners? Now this is one thing I tell people here in the UK. In as much as the system works, they've got proper system that works really, it's still important for you to actually make adequate plans. Trust me, adequate plans. The things I'm going to do in this country in the next 5 years, I've got them mapped out. Yeah, I understand, sometimes situation happens and your plan might not work the way you actually, structured it, but at the same time, you need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then as this common saying going, you actually do plan to fail. So the question is, what then do you do as a dependent? Now, if you're already in the UK, you're on the student visa in the UK, and it's looking like your partner might not get the skilled worker visa, because then you need to actually do one of these few things I'm going to say. And the first thing is to look out for the global talent visa. Yeah, I know the global talent visa might be very expensive, especially if you've got a family. You having to pay about 3,000 grand on IHS fee per person. I know it's really expensive. However, if your plan is really to stay back in the UK, you definitely need to try and implement something. And just look at the global talent visa. Now, for the global talent visa, if you're an authority, especially if you're dependent, you've got enough time. You're not studying. I understand you're working to support the family and all, but you've got enough time to make plans and strategize on what you want to do. The global talent visa is one visa that people really don't pay attention to. I understand it's not as straightforward as every other visa category, but it's actually a very good option if you're an authority in academia or research, in science and technology. Then this global talent visa is something you can try to explore, create a business around that, create a website, have a track record that you are imparting so many people's life through your skills. You understand what I mean? So I've got people who even got the global talent visa without necessarily having a business. We're only able to prove that they've got skills. Especially if you're a software developer, create a software that probably helps with payment stuff. Just show something that shows that you're an authority, and you get your endorsement. And voila, you got the global talent visa, which allows you to work unlimited number of hours, unrestricted at all. So the global talent visa is one visa category those on the dependent visa, public student dependent visa, can look out for, to help the family stay back, and their dependents are not restricted in any way. There's no salary threshold requirement for the global talent visa, and that way you might actually want to look at it. And this is one thing I talked a lot about in my previous video, is start making plans to move to another country if the UK doesn't seem to favor you, because the truth is there's still lots of countries out there, Canada, Australia, even the US, that gives you more opportunity if the UK immigration system is not really working for you. Now, another thing you may also want to consider is, for those who are students, getting the skilled worker visa is a bit easier because of the fact that you can leverage on the new entrant rule for the skilled worker visa. So you don't necessarily need to meet up with the 38,700 pounds salary requirement for the skilled worker visa. You don't necessarily need to meet that requirement. So it's something that you might actually want to look at also. Try and leverage on the new entrants and get a job, even if it's not up to 38,700. Yeah, so these are one of many reasons, or one of the many things that you can do as a dependent, because the truth is, you just have to find a way to stay back if you really want to remain in the United Kingdom. So please, guys, make sure watch some of my previous videos when I made a lot of emphasis and a lot of explanation around the different visa categories that you can explore. And also, if if you're able to also look at other means of probably starting a business in the UK, and if you're a dependent, you can also apply for the startup visa or the business visa. That's another way to actually look at it. Of course, that might require you to have quite a number of meet a lot of number of conditions and requirements. So it's not straightforward as every other visa category, but the truth is, it's really getting difficult to remain in the UK. However, the most important thing is, you just need to find a way around it. So if you have got family and you're not in the UK yet, please think about it very well. It might not be a good idea. If you've got family and you can't apply, you can't come in with, the only visa you can come in with is a skilled worker visa, and that's going to cost you arm and neck, except your employer is willing to take up that financial obligation. Anyway, so these are some of the ways I believe that those on dependent visa can still remain in the UK. If you have any contrary opinion or additional thoughts around this, please do state in the comment section. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.